Hi, welcome to Flicktease. Thanks for joining us. The old crew back together. Seems like old times, guys. Been a while after a few weeks of line-up changes.
You have to stop having so many holidays.
Yes, indeed. Good to have you with us too. Lots coming up on the show, including Gavin.
Lots of giveaways. We've got a giveaway to a slapstick comedy. I know you like those, Andre.
Great.
And a kiddie flick coming up.
Cozzy, welcome.
3 movies to have a look at. We've got a thriller, a comedy and a fantasy.
All
comedy, maybe.
All bases covered tonight on the show. All right, let's take a look at the first of our movies we'll take a look at tonight. Directorial debut, always interesting, this time for actor Ben Affleck. He's picked his brother in one of the starring roles of this one. Let's take a look at Gone, Baby Gone.
Elaine puts her to bed. She goes across to Dottie's, then she comes home and Amanda is gone.
Who would take my little girl? She never hurt anybody.
A 4-year-old child is on the street. If we don't catch the abductor by day 1, only about 10% are ever solved. This is day 3.
Do you know people in the neighborhood who don't talk to the police?
1 or 2.
We want to hire you to augment the investigation.
I just want my daughter back.
It's all right, we're gonna find her.
You have to promise me.
I promise.
You ever investigated an abduction before?
I think Mr. McCready was hoping that we could help with the neighborhood aspect of this investigation.
Half the guys you know are degenerates.
And you know what the other half are?
What?
Cops. Don't hold it against me.
Guess who? Asked me to find some people for you. Think I found them.
So you're saying you didn't do it? Fine. If it turns out you're lying, I'm gonna bribe cops to go after you, and I'm gonna tell everyone I know that you're a CI and a rat. And I know a lot of people. At least 2 guns in the house.
What else?
SWAT will be here in 5 minutes.
You're not gonna wait for them?
We're not waiting.
He lied to me. I can't think of one reason big enough for him to lie that's small enough not to matter.
You better think long and hard before you start running around here investigating the police.
Let it go.
Coming here trying to get noble, boy. And don't try to take on something you don't have the shoulders for.
You gotta take a side. If you beat a child, you're not on my side. If you see me coming, you better run because I'm gonna lay you down.
This child, that's all I care about. And we're gonna bring her home.
Tell him I'm sorry.
Oh my God.
How much?
What did you do?
Where I come from, you die with your secrets.
It's the kind of thing that if you do, Patrick, you want to be sure. Are you sure?
No.
Well, there's a look at Gone, Baby Gone, as I mentioned, directed by Ben Affleck. Tells the story of brother Casey Affleck, who plays a, dare I say, unconvincing private dick, called in by the family of a missing child to assist the police in their investigations in a really, really tough, rough and tumble neighbourhood of Boston, which, Coz, you and I remember as quite a nice town.
Yeah, it was. We only saw the sort of inner workings of the university town, though, didn't we? We didn't go out into any of those suburban areas. But apparently Matt and Casey grew up in Boston,
oh, right.
So it was set there because that's their background. So
it does show a little bit of fondness for the city.
Yeah, and when you say that he was a fairly unconvincing PI, I kind of thought so too, because he was supposed to be a bit rough and tumble and have grown up in that neighbourhood, and so he would know the goings-on that the police don't find out about. But it just didn't seem tough enough. He didn't seem rough and ready, and, you know, he's kind of commanding respect out on the street and, you know, bossing people around. I'm going, that little pipsqueak.
And all the crooks are deferring to him and bowing to him.
And Michelle Monaghan, who plays his partner, in more ways than one, I thought that wasn't convincing either, going into those tough bars and he'd have to defend her honour with these thugs. I thought, that's not good thinking.
In fairness, we've got off on the wrong step with this one because it's a lot better movie than we're saying. It's a small criticism.
It is, because I think that the power of this movie is the story, and you can't give away too many spoilers. You've got Morgan Freeman, not narrating, thank goodness, but in Ed Harris playing a pretty corrupt cop. He's terrific in it as usual, and what I liked about it, it was never obvious. And I think it takes a couple of watchings, don't you agree, Andre, to go back and revisit it?
I do. A convoluted resolution of the story I need to see this one again. I remember saying the same thing about Mystic River, I think, which comes from the same author.
Yeah.
A lot of similarities between those.
Uses flashbacks, but not corny flashbacks, I thought. You really got to watch carefully, and the hints are there. And for me, the power of this movie is, I did think perhaps a little bit too convoluted, and some of the characters' motivations I didn't buy all the way through, but the power of this movie is Amy Ryan's performance as the mother.
Now, she was nominated for an Oscar for this
Won a lot of Critics' Awards, in fact, scooped the pool in the Critics' Best Supporting Actress Awards up to the Oscars, and then lost momentum. It always happens, So I think she was unlucky, but the last scene, without going too much, her performance in that last scene is a really resonant conclusion to this movie, which takes it out of being a mystery crime drama into a social commentary sort of film, in my opinion.
Well, I wasn't bagging it when I said that he wasn't that convincing in that role, because what I was thinking was they did actually grow up in a neighbourhood like that. So by placing it there, even though I was thinking he wasn't that convincing, they're saying this is what we know.
They'd know better than
Casey is a bit nerdy, like he's made his name in nerdy comedies in the Ocean's trilogy, and then and really came to prominence in Jesse James, but he was a nerdy character as well.
The other thing, like, I agree with the guys, the complexity of the story is very good and it unravels really well, and even some of the holes that you think are in it, when all is revealed, you look back and realise that there was a reason that it was portrayed like that. But I didn't really buy he and her together. But when I did a little bit of research, because you know that I'm right on that internet button to find out all my research.
Last minute research.
I found out that Dennis Lehane actually wrote this story, and this is the 4th time that the two characters, Patrick and Angie, i.e. Casey and Michelle Monaghan, have been, you know, in his story. So it's the old gumshoe serial story.
Don't expect a franchise.
I don't think we're going to have a sequel. No.
Scoring time, Andre.
Gee.
I'm glad you said Andre, because I hadn't thought about mine yet.
Yeah, this has grown on me. Look, I'm going to say full price for this one. Full price alone to see Amy Ryan's performance. How's that? Cozzy?
I think half price. I'm going half price. Safe.
No, full price for me, and I was a bit disappointed. This movie really should have come out at the start of the year when the Oscar nominations were out, because Amy was nominated. So I thought, why wasn't it out in February, and it's been pushed back to April? But I don't think that's warning bells. I think it's a good movie and they couldn't find a slot for it. So it's probably good it's coming out later after all of the award-winning movies. There's a lot of crap out at the moment. So definitely full price plus GST to see this unpredictable and well-written crime drama.
And I do think Ben's done a good job.
He's done a really good job.
Absolutely, yeah.
I mean, Ben's career is in tatters as an actor to a degree. Not of his own doing. I think it's all Jennifer Lopez's fault. But maybe he's making his name in directing, hopefully.
Well, he's already got an Oscar for writing, so he's a very talented chap.
Is.
As long as we don't have to put up with another Daredevil, I think we'll be right.
Yeah, you're blaming Jennifer Lopez. Hey, she didn't force his arm to do Daredevil.
No, but Gigli, how do you say the word? She can take responsibility for that.
Who cares how you pronounce it? That'll never see the light of day again. Now.